Greg Remmenga joins us for some more free legal advice, and today we'll be discussing something that a lot of people have to tap into from, or at least at some point in their careers, workers' compensation. And the process of what you have to do after an accident occurs and all that. You want to go over that?
Well, first thing you need to do is, if it's an emergency, get some medical treatment. If it's not an emergency, report the injury or accident to your employer, because you only have 48 hours that you are supposed to report it to your employer. If you don't report it in that time, they can start denying you, and even worse, they can start questioning whether the accident actually happened when it happened.
That makes sense.
As we've talked about, workers' comp, you have to prove the accident occurred while you were at work or doing a work-related project. If you don't report it within the 48 hours, how do we know that it happened at work? So that's just one of those initial problems. There should be a bulletin that's posted somewhere at your employer's office that says who the 3 doctors are that you have a choice that you can go to. They are supposed to provide you with that choice. A lot of times recently, employers are driving the employee that's injured to the doctor they want them to see.
Interesting.
Which really doesn't provide them with a choice. They are supposed to, in writing, provide you with a choice of doctors. You choose which doctor you can go to, you set up the appointment, you go get treated. That doctor then is going to have you do any necessary treatment. As you're doing this, contact your employer, even after the first report, and make sure all the documents are filed. Those documents have to be reported to the insurance agency. They have to be reported to the state, which starts the whole process flowing. So stay up on all those things. Was it reported? Has the case been filed? Who are you allowed to go see? How's this injury going to affect you? Just those initial things need to be done so that if there becomes a problem, you go see an attorney like me. I can then prove the injury happened at work and how it's affected you.
Absolutely. A couple quick questions. You kind of mentioned that employers should provide options of doctors. If they do not, is that something that can be held against them in the court of law? Or?
Well, it can't really be held against them, but if they don't give you a choice of 2 doctors, in writing, you get to choose a doctor of your own that may be other than those 2 doctors. So you get a choice if they fail to give you the correct notice of those 2 doctors.
Sure, and is that something that would maybe not benefit the employer necessarily? Is that kind of the reasoning behind it, or?
Well, but if it's your doctor and you get a choice, you already have a relationship, which might affect the whole process.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, if you have any more questions about that type of scenario or just want a free consultation, feel free to contact Greg with that information right there on your screen.